Alright, and we are going to be having Eon do a Zelda 2 Adventure of Link 100% run. So, Eon, go ahead and take it away.
Alright, so you've seen me play already two different Zelda 2 runs during the marathon. I did a Famicom Disk System version, I did a randomizer version, and now this is the US NTSC release, but it is, the category is 100%, and what that means, we'll go ahead and get started, and it means that I can do whatever glitches I want as long as I get everything, and I'll explain that in further detail as I go. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Character control is when the timer starts, so it's about 3 seconds after I hit start. I'll just count it down. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Oh, and I went the wrong direction, but that's okay. So I should have walked left out of there. It saves a frame. What is going on right now is I need to go to the town of Rauru, and I need to talk to this healer on 2 specific frames, and then some magic is going to happen. So we'll see if I can do it. I'll try to explain it. Okay, I missed the frame. There, you can tell there's a pixel as a visual cue to let you know if you're in the ballpark. I say in the ballpark because it is a... she moves at a rate of 1 pixel every 2 frames, so she can be in the right pixel but on the wrong frame. Okay, we got it right there. That's awesome. That's a double frame perfect trick. It's a race condition. She turns around and tries to go into her house, but she ends up going up into nowhere, and then we go to Glitch Town as it is, and this lets me wrong warp to King's Tomb. And now this is the most dangerous part of the run right here. Got the good encounter that I want. I need to get some experience here to... Basically, I want to guarantee attack 3 and life 2 by the time I get the hammer. So we got that. That was the encounter I needed, and that went super smoothly. I'm not going to complain about that. I'm going to take this encounter just to get me free to the 1-up. Taking this for safety because even still, that was the most dangerous encounter, but just everything up until the hammer, I would consider to be the most dangerous part of the run. So, okay. Because we're here going into Death Mountain with minimal stats. We just took a death, unfortunately, but that's going to be okay. So going in with minimal stats, normally in the NES version, you'd be here with attack 4, and I'm here just getting attack 2 after that fight. So, and we're gonna skip these moblins. Okay, didn't take damage there, that's good. Don't need to kill those enemies, they take too many hits. And now we're on our way into the back door of Death Mountain. So we're going to get the hammer without traversing the labyrinth of caves that you are probably used to having to go through. But also, oh, we haven't been into Palace 1 yet, so no candle. But you can kind of see the feet of the enemies like overlapping the bottom of the ground, and that's how you can tell where they are. The orange enemies actually share the same sprites as the items, so we'll be able to see the orange Dyra in this cave. Okay, and again, the reason I'm doing that is for the experience to guarantee the attack level 3. So, because I need 500 XP by the time I get the hammer for that. Okay, made it through there. And here we go. Oh, dang it. Okay. We're doing okay. I'm gonna take it a little safe with these Megmats right here. Okay, that one got me, but that's okay. Okay, the next red Dyra down here is going to be a drop, and we're hoping for a P-Bag. If not, we can kill some extra enemies to make up for it. Okay, got the jar, so we got to backtrack here to get the red Dyra. I want to check. Okay, I do have extra lives. We're doing good on lives. So this... Okay, we're good. And just have to get 148 experience, which will be no problem. Okay, that was a little Mew there. Generally, most people don't think you can kill him without the down stab, but you actually can. Alright, getting this Dyra there, and now we just have a red Dyra here. Right, and we got attack 3, so that's the perfect leveling that we need to do. Gonna go ahead and take an up A, which is like a save and quit. It restarts us back at North Palace. And now that we've got the hammer, we've got our levels, we are set up perfectly. Just have to go on a little bit of a collection quest before we can advance in the plot of the game, really. Or in the making our way through the palaces and all that jazz. So, gotta get this trophy. That lets us go to the town of Rauru. No, sorry, that's the first town. It lets us go to the town of Ruto and get the jump spell. So, that's where we're gonna go now. And looking good, so... actually, I could not be more pleased with how the start of that run went. So I spent most of my time practicing for this event, working on everything from that first healer glitch up to collecting the hammer because of how dangerous that is. Alright, so... got the jump spell, that's our first spell of the game. Alright, and now we're gonna actually put that to good use along with the hammer. And we'll get the medicine or the water of life, which is what we need to get our next spell that we're gonna collect, which is known as the fairy spell. I'm gonna do an encounter manipulation that was kind of worked on in collaboration, two Zelda 2 runners, Anti-85 and Lightning. Basically, this is a really neat manipulation that we can get all the way to this cave without stopping, without having to take an encounter. And there we go, perfect. So, blocking the projectiles from the Bogos in the dark. Alright, and now we're just gonna skip these Dyras in this cave, because we don't need their experience. And they're just gonna slow us down if we try to fight them, so... Oh! Took an axe, knocked me into the lava. That's okay, got extra lives. That was definitely not what was supposed to happen there, but the axes are RNG, and so sometimes you just can't avoid that. Okay, we got the Water of Life, and now we're gonna go get... to the town of Mito, where we can get the fairy spell along with the downstab. So everyone's favorite sword technique, the downstab. I'm going to try to do an audio cue on the second boulder break to get a back spawn. I was a little bit early, I think, on that audio cue, so unfortunately I did not get the back spawn. So, but that really only loses like 3.5 seconds, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, with the jump spell now, we're able to go up into the top floor of this church where we can then find the Brave Knight, or Strong Knight, or whatever the NPCs tell you who lives in this town. We can talk to him and learn how to press down on the D-pad to do the downstab. So there we go. And don't need to refill magic because we're gonna up A again, but we gotta get the fairy spell, so... Okay. Want to make sure I select the fairy spell before I up A, though. Just to queue it up for the future, because that's the next spell I need to use. Alright, so last thing before we go and tackle Palace 1, gotta get a magic container. This magic container we need so that we can cast the fairy spell. Right now, with a magic level 1 and only 4 magic containers, I can't actually cast the spell, so... Oh, dang it, the controller moved on me. Alright, so... Got that, and now we're ready to tackle Palace 1, so... don't blink or you'll miss it. I say that because we're gonna basically do it as quickly as we possibly can. And killing the minimal number of enemies, and we're gonna actually collect 0 keys in Palace 1. So... Alright, encounters were good. That was all RNG manipulation based off... When you up A, that resets the RNG. So you can do stuff like know exactly where the encounters are going to be for a short time after you do an up A. So here I'm going to take some intentional damage on these tin suits. Because I'm going to need to take a death abuse to refill my magic. So I'm going to actually re-queue up fairy spell. I forgot I need to go down this. I got in the mindset of 100% all keys, which was my run the other night. But we go straight, we make a beeline straight for the... that damage is actually okay. But we're making a beeline straight for the... Oh, okay, perfect. Took that damage. Going for the candle. I'm going to come back here to take damage again on that bot, and now going to go back into here. Take some more damage off this Doom Rattler and off this Iron Knuckle. Got the candle? Okay. Queue up fairy again. And headed back now to the boss. It's important to note that I have no spare lives at this point. I've used them all to refill magic, so... Oh, dang it, did not pin the skull bubble back. Got him that time, though. I guess I can go ahead now and explain what is meant by 100% for this game. Basically, it means that we have to collect every spell, we have to collect every palace item, place every gem in every palace, collect every overworld permanent item that does not include 1-ups or red jars. And we have to get all the sword techniques and defeat... Dang it. Okay, whatever. There's a way to get through there without taking damage, and I messed it up, so... But... Anyway, we have to do all of that. We have to defeat Dark Link. Basically, it's defined by everything that shows up in the inventory menu when you pause the game. You have to complete all of that. So that means we don't actually have to fight Thunderbird in this category, which some people find kind of weird. I'll admit, at first I thought it was weird too, but it's kind of neat, so... Oh, I forgot to queue up fairy during that. Okay. So, did not up A there yet, because we still have one more thing to get in this area. I was a little slow on the move there to avoid that encounter, but that's okay. Gonna go... Got another encounter. Okay, and so here's the bubble encounter. I'm gonna try to do a glitch called Fairy Feet. Okay, got it. Skipped that encounter. And gonna get the heart container and up A. So now the next thing to do is we're gonna healer glitch again, and we'll see the game's gonna look really different in the future. So I'll explain that fairy feat. Basically what you want to do is you get the fairy onto the screen transition like pixel where it disappears, and then you hit the opposite direction and it sends you to the other exit. Okay, was close on that one. So here's hoping this is a decent healer glitch. Every time I miss the healer glitch and have to go back into this house, that costs 10 seconds, so... Got it there. That's really good. That's a lot better than I was doing in my most recent practice runs. So what we're going to do now is overflow the door stack by entering a door 5 times. We entered that door once, and then we're going to enter this door for the second door entry, and then now we're going to go in that first one 3 more times. So that's 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to leave now, and that set up a condition known as scroll lock. You'll notice the screen does not scroll to the left, and we can use that to great advantage throughout the run. And so now all this graphical artifacting is a side effect of basically what we did was we overflowed the door stack, and so overwrote some portions of memory. And that allows us to do all sorts of fun shenanigans. So, got the shield spell. And now we're gonna make our way to Palace 2. And it's gonna do... We'll see all kinds of cool things along the way. Headed first to this heart container cave. Alright. That damage is a-okay, because we'll get refilled right here. Gonna queue up Fairy again. Now we're back in North Palace, and now we're back here. Oh shoot, I definitely messed up that walk. I'm gonna duck into this cave to try to set up a different manipulation. Okay, that was actually really good. I will take that. So now, gonna refill my magic and go left. We're gonna go get the glove. This is basically the same route to get the glove in the any % speedrun. But then we're gonna actually go back and fight the boss. So, gotta scroll the screen. When you scroll the screen and go left, it sends you to the down exit. So that allows us to basically warp all around. We leave. We actually have to leave the palace and re-enter. And we'll explain exactly why that is later. But now, making our way to the boss, I jumped over invisible lava there. If I don't jump, I would die. So that's really important. This time we're going to take the elevator down. Okay. Alright, we're good. Slight hesitation. And then making our way through. Okay. Not the best, but not the worst. So... and I should point out that the route that I'm using on this was pioneered by two Zelda 2 speedrunners, Squibbins and Meg Mac Attack. And it was with both of them sharing their notes with me, I kind of refined a few things about the route and put together what I've got today. So, which is kind of neat. There are two. Myself and Simple Dude are the two people with times under an hour, and we run completely different routes for the category, which is really cool. So here we are at Helmet Head. Okay, took down Helmet Head. It turns out the pedestal to place the gem, the trigger to place the gem doesn't spawn the first time through, so we have to leave and do one more loop in Palace 2. So one more time, jumping over the invisible lava on the next screen. And then we go down the elevator and make our way back to the boss room. We do have the key from the boss room, so that changes when I have to use the fairy spell. But it's kind of neat. It basically means I have to place the gem as the fairy, so... Alright, made it through that room without taking damage. That's not easy to do. Okay. So in the next room was where I cast Fairy last loop. This time I have a key, so I will actually unlock the door. I can't cast Fairy on this, or that will cause real problems for me, because it'll use the key up and I won't be able to get through the next room. So easier to kill that orange iron knuckle than to skip it. And here we go. So into the Palace 2 boss room again. Through the door, and... Alright, placed the gem. Okay, so we're almost done with the Western continent now. That was a good long walk. Okay, take an attack 5. The level routing in this is very precise. Oh, I walked one tile too far to the right there. Oh, nice backspawn. Another backspawn. Alright, so now we have to get the life spell in Saria. Followed me down. So to get the life spell, we have to find the woman's mirror. It's in a house under a table, so... obviously that's the door to the house, and obviously that's the table. And then door's gonna spawn out of thin air, and that's how we get into the house to get the life spell. I just love all the cool things about this glitch. Okay, so... Alright, restoring my life. Keeping Fairy queued up, because that's going to be important. That Fairy Feet glitch we did before, we're going to make use of it again. Okay, so now here I have to scroll the screen to wrong warp across the river because we did not talk to Bagu. Now we're going to go through the front door of Death Mountain, which if you've seen this in any % or New Game Plus, you haven't seen it with the lights on, so it is kind of neat to see how it looks with the lights on. I think I need to scroll just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. And then don't scroll this screen or you'll have a bad time. Then it's really neat if we enter this door from above, or this cave, and then fairy feet out, we can skip an encounter and some overworld movement. And so we skipped that whole left C-shaped piece there. You might notice the tiles are messed up, and that's an artifact of having placed the gem for Palace 2 and then wrong warping to Maze Island. Also, there were red Dairas in there that should not have been red Dairas. We'll see some other interesting things. This is all because the game still thinks we're on the Western continent. So we have an orange Gorilla instead of or blue Gorilla instead of an orange Lizalfos. That's supposed to be the kidnapped child, but it looks like the Water of Life. Turns out in their respective CHR banks, the Water of Life and the kidnapped child take the same spot. So that's why that happens. It's really cool because, like I said, it thinks we're on the Western continent. Oh, I'm going to get this one up. And now we're going to do a strat called the Dazzle Walk to get over to Darunia. Okay. And then jump at the cloud, and we clear that. So now we're into Darunia. Gotta get the Reflect spell and the Upstab. So just gotta walk backwards a bit, and here's where we get the Reflect spell. Part of the house just disappeared. It's cool. And so this time it is the Reflect spell, it is not the Reflex spell. But I'm going to queue up the jump spell here, because I'm going to use that to get the downstab on the next screen. So we're actually going in sort of the intended way to this room, so... Alright, now we can press up. That lets us do this. Upstab is an underrated sword technique, I think, because most people think it's useless. They're mostly right. Okay, gonna queue up Fairy Spell. Okay, don't scroll the screen here. Then I wanna... Oh, that's... I did not get the encounter skip. I'm gonna have to... So I really, really want to take the encounter skip right here. I thought that enemy was gonna walk down into me. Overworld encounters are not cooperating. Got it that time, finally. This time we don't skip it, because instead we jump over and then scroll the screen, go left, and now, hey, we're at this cave. This makes the maze return a lot more consistent than in the all keys category. So now that the game is correctly updated with us being in the Eastern continent, the maze is not glitched out, so we can make our way through the maze correctly. Get the magic container and make our way into Palace 4. goodness. I almost took damage there. Alright. So, even with the scroll lock, most of the encounters are going to go left to right, which means you have to go all the way through them, so it's still fastest to go the long loop like I'm going right now. So this is a really cool part of the run. This is one of my favorite parts of the run, actually. So we're going to go into Palace 4, and we're going to get the boots. And then we're going to get the raft. So how are we going to do that, you might ask? Well, you'll see. Because you probably noticed we're on the eastern continent and we never stepped foot into Palace 3. Okay, I always have to double check my spell queued up. Could not get the ceiling walk there. Alright, so here we go. Gonna have to take out this blue iron knuckle with the jackhammer technique. It's a little tricky with attack 5. Alright, that works. Get our magic level 2 off of that iron knuckle. Like I said, I have every enemy that I kill at this portion of the run mapped out for the experience. So now we're at the entrance to Palace 3. And this is the reason why when I was leaving Palace 2, I said we couldn't re-enter the palace. I had to actually go out to the map, is because Palace 2 links up with Palace 1. But we can't take advantage of that link because it's impossible to get the candle in the glitched state. So you really have to go into Palace 1 non-glitched, and then it makes no sense to not just do the whole palace unglitched. So, but yeah, so we're in Palace 3, but we still have the Palace 4 tile sets loaded, so it's kind of like in Link to the Past, if you've seen any of the really glitchy runs of that, where you get into like dungeons with like cave textures loaded and stuff like that. It's basically the same concept. Okay. Queuing up fairy. The next iron knuckle is going to be my drop. And I've routed the experience such that it doesn't matter what the drop is here. That will be fine. Okay. Actually, the red jar is... Well, I mean, I'm going to level up magic in the next room anyways, but the red jar is kind of nice if I needed to refill life or something. Okay, that took it slow and safe there. Got the raft. So now we're going to exit to the left, which is going to bring us back to the entrance of Palace 3. So we're going to have to leave and come back in, and now we're going to fight, make our way to fight Karok. Alright, we scroll the screen and then walk left, and then we walk left, and then we go down the elevator, cast fairy, and then I actually need to take some damage because I don't have enough magic to cast reflect for the boss, so... Perfect. Okay, so, gonna queue up reflect. And this is a real hard boss if you've not seen this boss fight before. So it's going to take a lot of concentration for me. So, cast Reflect, cast Shield. Oh, I didn't turn around, but okay, so now I gotta do something really important here. Oh. Well, heck. Don't take that. I almost messed up my leveling. Okay, so we placed the gem. I cannot leave now, or Palace 4 is going to be a stone. So I have to go to the left. Take attack 6, and that's actually the last attack level I will take unless I make a mistake. So now we're at the entrance to Palace 3, and like I said, I can't leave. Or I will have a real problem. I can get back to Palace 3 through Palace 6. Through using a similar connection, but it does mess with the experience routing if I had to take advantage of that, so. But making our way to fight the boss Rebenak, and one interesting feature, you notice that the we have the Palace 4 tile sets loaded. And we saw before that when the eastern or the western continent tile sets were loaded, we had a medicine jar, or the water of life, instead of the kidnapped child. So there might be some more interesting things like that coming down the pipeline, particularly, well, I don't want to spoil too much. Okay. Right, yes, walk there, then I scroll to the right, and then I take this out, and I don't know why, I usually send a beam back to them. Okay, so we got the key, so we can open this door, which is good, because the Doom Knocker here is what we need to get us the correct experience. Need at least 399 experience, so we're 1 experience above what we need. And the red iron knuckle up here is our drop, so, and the chance that it's a red jar, which it ended up being a red jar, so that's why I routed the kills the way I did. So here we go, time to ride the shark. So, perfect Rebenak fight. So, okay. Basically what that was it pulled the corresponding sprites from the CHR bank for the horse, but those ended up being, because Palace 4's tile sets were loaded, that ended up being some sprites from Karok, and it just looked like a bit like a shark, so I think I forgot to queue up the fairy spell, but that's okay. So now making our way to Palace 5. Okay, so here I'm gonna take as much magic as I can, because magic is real tight in this palace. This makes it a lot easier. So now I'll actually, at this point, all my level ups will go into the life category. Gonna queue up fairy spell. And we'll see this screen a few more times, so just a heads up. Alright, so got that. Scroll the screen to the right and walk left. Keep walking left. Scroll the screen to the right and walk left. Then we walk left a couple more times. Then we walk right. And now gonna have to refill my magic from the statue. That statue. Cast Fairy, refill my life. Queue up Shield, which is the only magic I can cast on this boss because I need that magic after the boss fight, so... Trying to take the boss fight a bit safe. Oh, that was bad. Oh, he's moving away from me when I'm trying to... That's real bad. Okay. Oh, I just walked right into that. That was my own fault. I think I can cast life now if I need to, but I'm not gonna want to. Oh, goodness. Oh, shoot. Is that... No, that's good. Okay. Okay. So now we have to leave because that's Palace 1, and now we're back at Palace 5. Got Fairy Spell queued up. Okay, now I had to leave for the same reason as in Palace 2. Basically, the trigger for placing the gem doesn't spawn the first time you go through that room, and I don't honestly know why. Just some side effect of the scroll lock glitch, so... Okay, so scroll right and walk left. And we walk left a couple more times. Gotta get this magic refill again. Okay, and now we used up our key, so gotta cast Fairy to place the gem here as well. Okay. Taking that life level up, queuing up Fairy again, leaving and coming back. Now it's time to get the flute. Or the plunger, or the trumpet, or whatever else people call it. Horn, I think, is another one I've heard. Oh, and that was just my own fault. Okay. Queuing up Fairy again for later.
So Meg Mac Attack wants to inform you that it is clearly an oboe.
An oboe? Alright. Thanks, Meg. Also, I'm surprised you're awake, Meg. Okay, so gonna fight Horsehead again. Oh, what? Why is it a blue Iron Knuckle and not a Horsehead refight? If you don't get the joke, you should, you missed the run on, last night. Okay, queued up jump, so we left, got everything out of Palace 5, and now it's time to get the heart container. And now we're out of that cave. And time to get the fire spell. So this is totally different from TGE's rant, because we get the water before we even see the woman under house arrest, so we didn't know that. We just had the water and she says she's thirsty, so we're just sharing what we got, right? And now getting the fire spell, which is a spell that will likely not be seen. Well, I guess we'll probably use it on Dark Link for swag, but otherwise will not really see use in the run meaningfully. Okay, gonna refill my magic up here. And then make our way to New Kasuto, where we can get some more stuff, so gonna go into this cave, and now we're at New Kasuto. So cast life to refill my life, because that's gonna be real important. I'm gonna want to have full life soon. So gonna get the magic container here. Oh, I should, yeah, do that. I forgot to cast Fairy. Gonna queue up Fairy again, because that's also gonna be important. Okay, that's fine. So now we go in here and go left through the room, and now we're in Old Kasuto. What? And we don't have the cross, so we can't see the enemies. Oh, shoot. I forgot to queue up shield. So we go through this room, cast shield to save things, because these MOAs can do a lot of damage, even at life 6. So, alright. In different routing, you can be in there with like life 4 or life 3, and it's real dangerous at that point. So, it's actually relatively marathon safe. Well, I mean, it is marathon safe at this point, coming through here with life 6. So. Okay, so here I have to scroll the screen or I will soft lock in the ocean, so don't want to soft lock in the ocean. Queue up the spell. Oh, I was half a tile too far. Almost perfect. So here, because I'm not going to have a chance to refill my magic, I'm not going to fairy the key. Just going to exit and exit left. Then we have to scroll the screen to the right to avoid that soft lock I mentioned. And then now we're going to make our way down towards Palace 6. Oh, double back spawn. Wow, that's really good. Okay, there's a 50-50 chance for a red jar there. I didn't get the jar, but that's okay. Gonna queue up the the fairy spell. Okay. That was intentional to fall down there. And, oh, that might be a ceiling walk. No, dang it. No walking on life bars tonight. At least at this part. Okay, just want to take out the unicorn because they can be real dangerous otherwise. Making sure, yeah, fairy's queued up. I always forget. Perfect. Probably should have grabbed that blue jar. Oh well. So, Rebanak refight. This time he's actually on the horse because the proper tile set is loaded. Okay, got the key. And now on our way to Barba. Queue up fairy again. So the manipulation where if you don't stop moving and he spawns in the right side doesn't work in this. Oh, I totally forgot. I just forgot to cast the jump spell. Okay. Not a great fight, but not a terrible fight. Oh, yeah, I should. Okay. So now we gotta leave and come back to get the cross, so. And that's the last level up we'll get on the run, so finish with 667. Okay. Oh, gonna queue up jump again for making some future rooms a bit easier. Not this one, because that room's just awful. Okay. Alright, 1, 2... What? I miscounted. Oh, goodness. I went to Canada. And I have to leave and come back. Wow. So that's a bit of a time loss. Not intentional. I miscounted the pillars somehow. I just missed one. I thought I was only at the second row of pillars.
Well, while you are making your way back through, we do have a $100 donation from Meg Mac Attack saying, this is all for Rebo Shark. Glad I got to catch some of this, even if it is in the middle of the night.
Aw, thanks, Meg. Yeah, Rebo Shark is the mascot of this category. Okay, let's do this next room correctly. Okay. 1. Okay. Okay, did it that time. Okay, now that we have the cross, I'm gonna queue up the fairy spell. Jump at the cloud and make our way, so... Alright, and now we're in Old Kasuto with the cross, so that makes it a bit easier. Okay, and keeping very queued up, we've got... At this point, we've got everything, so it's time to go tackle Great Palace. Okay, I'm just gonna ferry across here because if I mess up the ferry feet, I'm gonna have a real bad time. So.
All right. Well, while you're taking your ferry across, we do have a $20 donation from Canada saying, "Welcome to Canada. I hope you enjoy your stay."
Nice. Thank you, Canada. Okay, going into this cave, and we're gonna scroll right and go left, and now we are right outside the Great Palace, so... Of course, that's how everyone remembers playing the game as a kid, right? Going this same exact route. I have 1 life left, so I'm gonna go ahead and take an up A to refill my lives and everything at the start of Great Palace. Got that epic music, and now... Going through Glitched Great Palace is always a real treat, so... with the glitch that I put on, it's often called the alternate glitch. It does not affect enemy spawns in the same way as the standard any percent scroll lock glitches does, so there will be more enemies to contend with. Which means this is a little bit more challenging, but my levels are much higher than in the any percent route, so... Okay, well if I could just make it past that spicy chicken without taking too much damage, that would be wonderful. Okay. That Bird Knight played nicely for the start, and then that bot went after me, but we're okay. Okay, let's hope this spicy chicken plays well. This spicy chicken is not playing well. Heck, I'm gonna make an attempt to get this red jar here because... Okay. Because this room is a pretty dangerous room. Okay. Alright, made it through there. There's one more dangerous room, really. Gonna go ahead and ferry here, just so I don't have to deal with that spicy chicken. Gonna cast shield on this next room because this Bird Knight can be a bit of a jerk. Alright, so now I need to refill my magic, so I'm gonna take advantage of the hot springs in this room to do so. Oh, that bot was a bit of a jerk. Alright, so gonna queue up the jump spell. Gonna just wait for a second, because those bots can really troll you. And... so cast jump, and now we're going to cast fairy in the HUD, and... Okay. And so that was just the Thunderbird fight. Okay, clear out some of that garbage on the screen so we can see the fight. And here we are against Dark Link. And time ends on loss of control, so I will let you know when that is. It'll be basically, Link will walk to the right, it's when he stops walking right. And time.
And you finish with a 1:03:56.
1:03:56, not bad for a marathon time with those marathon safe strats. So that's still better than the number 3 time on the leaderboard for the category. So, but anyway, and it's cool. The credits are still glitched out in this. I just think, I don't know, it's super awesome how the this scroll lock glitch works and how it glitches everything out. So anyway, with this, I am done. And up next is Krim doing Battle of Olympus, I believe. So With that, we'll get that set up and start that very soon.